Today on Running to Him.
Our praise to God is not only for the good times, but
faith.
also for those times
we need
in which
to
we
step up
struggle.
and show the world who Christ is and why all need him. Today we will read 1 John chapter 3 and concentrate on verses 18 through 24. 1 John 3:18 through 24 says, "Little children, let us not love with word or with tongue, but in deed and in truth. We will know by this that we are of the truth, and will assure our heart before him in whatever our heart condemns us, for God is greater than our heart and knows all things. Beloved, if our heart does not condemn us, we have confidence before God, and whatever we ask, we receive from him, because we keep his commandments and do the things that are pleasing in his sight. This is his commandment, that we believe in the name of his Son, Jesus Christ, and love one another, just as he commanded us. The one who keeps his commandments abides in him, and he in him. And we know by this that he abides in us, by the Spirit whom he has given us." Now, as we end chapter 3, we see that John gives a very interesting admonition to his readers. Verse 18 mirrors what John chapter 3 expounds. Our faith is exhibited in deeds, not exclusively in a verbalized faith. We as Christians are called to minister to others. Our lives are not designed by God to exclusively sit in the pews and listen to somebody tell us some stories. We are to work so that our faith grows and our witness becomes stronger. Verses 19 through 20 explain why this is important to have work in our Christian walk. The Bible Knowledge Commentary expounds on these two verses. Verse 19 and all of verse 20 are difficult in the original, but probably should be translated, "And we shall persuade our hearts before him that our hearts condemn us. God is greater than our hearts and knows all things." It is precisely in the sphere of a believer's love for other Christians, in which Christ has set himself high a standard, that he may feel deeply his own inadequacy and failure. But if his heart condemns him, he can remind himself that God takes account of those things, which at the moment his heart ignores. If he has been engaged in the kind of practical acts of love which John enjoined, his guilt-ridden heart can be persuaded by realizing that God is well aware of this fundamental commitment to the truth. This passage clearly recalls Peter's response to the Lord's final query, "Do you love me?" Peter replied, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Verses 21 through 22 echo what John wrote in his gospel. In John 14:12 through 15, he writes, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also, and greater works than these he will do, because I go to the Father. Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you ask me anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, you will keep my commandments." The more emphasis we put on our actions for Christ, the more we will be assured that we have a relationship with him and the depth of that relationship. Matthew writes in his gospel about how Christ will judge us. In Matthew 25, verses 34 through 40, he reads, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you who are blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me.' Then the righteous will answer him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? And when did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?' The king will answer and say to them, 'Truly I say to you, to the extent that you did it to one of these brothers of mine, even the least of them, you did it to me.'" It is time we, as believers, live through our faith. We need to step up and show the world who Christ is and why all need him.
Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.